Don in London, hello. It's October the 12th. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour, my addictive substance, alcohol, my behaviour equally addictive around people, places and things. So an alcoholic in recovery and no longer driven or addicted to alcohol, the substance, in the same way that I was always addicted. I just don't drink one day at a time. And also behaviour around people, places and things, being in the right place with the right people, doing the right things, having the right things, wanting to fit in, be a part of, and an underlying sense of unease and not quite right with the world. And that feeling of unease can come back at any time. Something disturbs me and then I'm not quite sure what's going on. And in the last 24 hours to 48 hours I've had some unwelcome guests in the form of little rodents in where I live. And I just checked on the internet just to see what I can do about it. And the best answer is get some barn owls or attract them with a nesting box. So if you happen to have a spare barn owl handy, it will do me, yes, completely impractical, I know. But it's also impractical to bung up every hole in my flat. There are just too many of them, and the pesky little things will get in anyway if they really want to. But the question is, where have they come from? Well, there's a lot of building work around where I am, and that is disturbing in itself, but it's disturbed the mice who have left the building across the road and marched across to my building. It will get sorted out, but it is disturbing, and I have to wait and see what can be done by the landlord. So what's that got to do with recovery? Well, in the old days I would sit up all night with a gun and try and kill the little fuckers. No, I don't mean that. I don't own a gun. But that's the sort of feeling it would evoke in me. I want the problem solved immediately. And not all problems can be solved immediately, especially when it comes to addiction. Addiction to getting things sorted out, trying to get things perfect, trying to make sure that everything is as it ought to be according to me. In other words, playing God. And of course the simple thing I've learned in recovery is I'm not God, and it's better to be a part of life as life is, rather than a fantasy of being in charge of it, as if I ever was. So the good news in recovery is, even though some of the old disturbances of wanting to sort everything out immediately and pull my place apart and make sure there aren't any rodents in it of one sort or another, then I need to let go a bit and be patient and get help of the right sort, so I don't cause not only myself harm by trying to do the impossible, get rid of the little rodents, but also take account of my neighbours who also must be suffering the same unfortunate state of affairs. Or what was that? Lemony Snicket. A series of unfortunate events. It's a bit like that with recovery. Sometimes you get fortunate events where everything's going well, and then there are a series of unfortunate events beyond our control. And these days I don't worry too much when things are beyond my control, as long as I do what I can to help solve the problem and live in a solution rather than an ocean of alcohol. So why do I do these videos? Share a bit of experience, strength and hope of what helps me, and also what helps other people too. And that comes in the form of fellowship for me, the fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. Never thought I'd be part of it, never thought I would be joining up with a fellowship of like-minded people who prefer to be sober one day at a time. So what is AA, and what are these videos about? Well, sharing about what AA is, what it can do, what it can't do, and how it works for me, is just one person's voice and opinion. And I was asked to do these videos for people who cannot get to meetings for whatever reason, stuck in, shut in, or cannot read and write, cannot actually absorb the words in early recovery. A lot of people lose their ability to concentrate, so really it's a message of hope. That's simply what it is. But what I know more than anything is the fellowship of AA has many voices of experience, strength and hope, and it is the many voices in fellowship which keep me sober today. We can do what we can do, and then we help each other. So I'm going to share the AA preamble, something of the words of AA as well from this book here, Daily Reflections, which covers the 12 steps and 12 traditions of AA, and some words of my own. And coming home last night to find that my evening meal was already being eaten by pesky little mice was a bit of a shock, and it did disturb me a bit. But anyway, that's something I'll talk about in a minute, or not. So the AA preamble, I share it because it helps me slow down into the moment of now and help me make sense of where I am right now. So the AA preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. So it's about helping each other. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. So it's simply a desire to stop. It doesn't mean you have stopped, or it may mean you have stopped. It's just a desire to stop. And there are no rules, laws or regulations in AA, because if there were, nobody would come. Nobody would have started. Nobody would have stayed with it. So no rules, laws or regulations for stubborn, defiant people who need to find their own path. That's me. There are no dues or fees for AA membership, and in my early days I had no money, and still have very little money, so I only make a modest contribution towards rent, tea, coffee, biscuits and some literature and basic admin costs. We never want money to be an issue in fellowship, so we don't have anything but a prudent reserve. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. So AA is not supporting anything except sobriety and helping people. But everybody in AA has an outlook, an opinion, a belief system, supports things, doesn't support things, has lots of outside interests. But we try not to impose them on each other, but we do share about them because that's what makes the world go round. So if anybody tries to impose their view on you, you can say, thank you for trying to impose your view, it's not where I'm at, and carry on in your own way towards your own sober living with all your own beliefs and outlooks, except one: no longer having a desire to drink. That's it. That's the only one we keep, sort of. So our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And life is not easy. Excuse me. So we all have our other conditions to deal with, and I've got a few aches and pains. And I need to look after myself. So what helps me when I can't get to meetings, which is all too frequent recently? This book, Daily Reflections, and plus other ones which are on the bookshelf behind me. There's a blue one just over my shoulder and a purple one. One is the AA Big Book and one is the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. And they help me immensely make sense of what I can do and what I can't do on a daily basis. And as long as I follow the can do, can't do and keep on learning the wisdom, I'll stay alive and hopefully stay sober. So today's AA Daily Reflection, October, is all about step 10 of 12 steps in the Daily Reflection book. 12 steps, one a month. Step 10, all about doing spot check inventories of how am I feeling, why and what can I do. Why do a spot check inventory at all? Well, in step 4 we covered our life story, which was all the assets we developed through our life and all the liabilities. So we all have assets and liabilities in personality, traits and actions. So the good things we normally do are around courage, faith and living with confidence, and the other side of it, the dark side, is fear, having to put on a brave face, and ego, which covers up our shame, guilt about not being good enough. So if I can do a daily inventory or spot check inventory when I'm not quite sure what's going on, when I'm disturbed, it's me. Bottles rattling. That's by Bendham restaurant over the road, chucking out its empty bottles. And no doubt it's been chucking out its overpopulated area of mice into my building. As if. I don't think any landlord wants to have mice. But anyway, the AA daily reflection today is curbing rashness. When we speak or act hastily or rashly, the ability to be fair-minded and tolerant evaporates on the spot. And that comes from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 91. So we speak or act hastily or rashly, we're likely to make an instant decision which may not be fair-minded, but it might be based on self-interest. So we try and look at the big picture of life. Being fair-minded and tolerant is a goal toward which I must work daily. I ask God, or in good conscience, depending on your belief system, as I understand Him, to help me be loving and tolerant to my loved ones, and to those with whom I am in close contact. I ask for guidance to curb my speech when I am agitated, and I take a moment to reflect on the emotional upheaval my words may cause, not only to someone else, but also to myself. Prayer, meditation and inventories are the key to sound thinking and positive action for me. Now, most people do have some form of meditation, a reflection. The inner voice in our heads is always saying, well, what's going on then? And the spot inventory, how am I feeling, why, what's disturbing me? Am I happily agitated or unhappily agitated? Or is life just running along smoothly, but I'm unaware there's a great big monster behind me? So those are the things that the daily reflection was talking about this morning, or not talking about. The daily reflection, what we can read. And I know in my early days I was not very good at reading. I wasn't very good at reading when I was a youngster either. And I found out why. I had dyslexia. But nobody had come up with the term dyslexia back then. We were just thick, or not quite able to digest information like normal children, as if normal children can digest it that easily either. The great assumption of teachers is everybody has the same capacity as them. And what's worse about that is sometimes teachers don't have that greater capacity, so they may hold people back because of a lack of understanding. It's a two-edged sword, really. And in business, that was always the way. Often I found people trying to measure the performance and abilities of others, when in fact they were quite limited in their own performance. So when they were trying to judge others' performance, it caused them difficulties. I don't understand that person, they would often say. And I knew why, because their comprehension was limited to what they knew, and the other person was far beyond their capacities and had greater potential. So sometimes we hold people back because we just don't understand them and we're in a position of power, or we just hold people back because we just don't understand them. So better to let them go and let them get on, rather than hold them back with our own limited perception. And that's what I learned over those years. It was very frustrating because you'd find people who would not move along in their careers because actually they were stuck. They liked where they were and they were being well paid for it, but they were actually blocking the careers of other people by not moving into other work. And there was always other work to do, equally well paid for people who could just keep the status quo going. You know, not everybody is an innovator. Put an innovator in a compliance environment and they'll innovate away and you'll have no compliance at all. So it's horses for courses. You know, we all have a place somewhere or other, and the best place to be is in your own head, happy. But I must admit my happiness has been challenged in the last 48 hours by the mice. Who wants mice? Unless you're keeping them as pets. The ones I've got are eating my dinner. Yes. Anyway, for me today, I was asked to chair a meeting local to me today. Even though I always say call me on the day, because I never know how I will be, and that's because of my other ailments, it gives me a feeling of unease. We can feel guilt for the right reasons and for the wrong reasons. A slave to obligation, old codes of behaviour can cause self-harm. So even though I want to do a chair today, because I'd really enjoy doing it, I know I'm not right for it. I know if I go out when I'm asked to go and do this chair, it will cause me self-harm. But, there's the but, I want to do it. So at the same time, will I feel right about it afterwards? I don't know, but the absolute answer is I won't be right after doing it, because I'm not right before doing it, physically. Anyway, that was just me. So spot check inventory for me is it's okay to say no. And Gandhi said a half-hearted yes. No, wait, let's get this right. An emphatic no is better than a half-hearted yes. So what I said was, yes, ring me at 11 and I'll see if I can do it. But I already know, so I've already let them know. I'm not up to it. Anyway, that's me. The other thing this morning, wanted on short-term loan, barn owls. I looked this up. Barn owls are extremely efficient at getting rid of mice. One family of barn owls can eat up to 15 mice every night. Consider erecting a nesting box to attract them onto your property. Very disturbing having mice. And I shared about it last night on my social network. And it is funny, really. I mean, it's nothing worse than you've got a well wrapped up loaf of bread you bought because it's been baked freshly this morning, and then the blinking thing is moving on its own or rustling, and you can hear what's going on inside the packet. Having already eaten some of it, it made me think, do I have them in my apartment or my flat, or did I bring it in and was it in there all along? Or if you hear the dog barking downstairs, wobble dog's fute's been out too long and the bloody mice are back. Very disturbing for Wobble as well, the dog I mentioned. So, you know, small things can become big things in our heads, but it is disturbing because I keep my place clean. And oh dear, very foul language from my neighbour about something or other. Anyway, moving on. October the 12th, this is last year. Spontaneity and light-hearted, unburdened in recovery, we can be free to live in the moment. We do not dwell thinking about the past, and what we do have to do to be happy in the future. So it's about living in the now. We find our connection to right here and now, feeling the experience of now, making best choices, and live free today. Live free without guilt and shame about my mice, or the fact that it's not in my best interest to go out trying to do a chair. Excuse me. And I've written it again. Yes, here's another one. Impulse, a wave of excitation. Happy, we are excited by our environment, people, places and things. That's when we're happy. We feel excited by life. Our senses and feelings are sharpened with every encounter, moment by moment. Sad, same sharpness of senses and feelings, moment by moment. We live reality today with clarity and purpose. So even if we're sad, we can still have clarity of purpose, even if we don't like what's going on. Oh, excuse me. It was Mr. Mouse at number 11, wanting to get in. He forgot his key. Anyway, coming back to the more serious thing. I mean, the whole thing of the rodent issue is it's an issue. Mr. Mouse at number 11. In recovery, keeping our choices open today is always a challenge. And this month of October is all about step 10. 12 steps in recovery. I'm always alert to the desire to live in the present moment. Around living in the now, we build routines which help us. Step 10, the spot check inventory at any time of day. What's disturbing me? What's not disturbing me? And of the 12 steps is about daily inventory of what has happened, what worked well, and this is what we can do at night. It's our end of day review, if you like, the what's disturbed us and what's worked. Gratitude for that which has worked. So it gives me a balanced outlook in the end. Every day we encounter ordinary, and life is just ticking along. We are in the moment and not concerned about past events, or fearful about future events. Routine, connection to people, places and things feels okay and good. We feel included, a part of life, and we have purpose in recovery. Stay sober, live life and experience everything. Even rodents. Disturbance. Disturbance is a really good word to describe life being out of the ordinary and something unexpected happening. It could be a good disturbance and we are elated, or the opposite, we are fearful and react with enough presence of mind to keep calm. We control our responses if we say, hang on a minute, what's going on here, rather than react and say, oh my God. When we are disturbed, we increase our alertness, and it is something going on inside us, not other people. Step 10 is all about working out what disturbs us today. We might be angry by confrontation, we might be happy by a chance meeting with a friend. Both feelings tell what is going on. Then we can work out why we respond well to happiness and why we feel the need to push away the confrontation with something or a person we would avoid. And I can remember in my early recovery avoiding quite a lot of situations which were invites by family to meals in restaurants with alcohol flowing just because it disturbed me. But these days it doesn't disturb me. There's something that disturbed the dog downstairs. It's probably found that its dinner's been ate by the mice. Anger and resentment, wobble the dog, are always a moment away. Something's going on with Mr. Wobble. No profanities from the owner. That's an achievement for her. Anger and resentment are always a moment away. Annoyance at our denials can build when we let ourselves down and do not find courage and esteem to deal with people and places. I feel my feelings today, and I need to take account of what my feelings are. The why of how I feel is important when life is good or bad. To understand that my feelings are about what is happening to me now and not pulling me back into history or a fear of some future event. So with courage, faith and confidence I can ask myself the question, how am I feeling, rather than say I don't want to feel anything. Ego, fear and a brave face. With fear inside me I can put on a brave face and find my brittle ego will cover me up today, cover me up from the truth of me. So courage, faith and confidence, with faith in the next actions I need take today, enough courage and support to keep confident, and then I can meet my challenges as they happen. Often what we fear is fear, and not what will happen next. Imagination can be a difficult gift, and when we need it to make progress, simple progress and not perfection. So it's a balance always, that if I don't check it out with someone, I can amble along in the wrong direction, feeling happy when the world is falling apart around me, or I could amble along feeling unhappy when there's nothing to fear. So when I don't know what's going right or wrong for me, what do I do? If I'm on my own, I can use the serenity prayer, can do, can't do, wisdom to know the difference. I can look at me, my attitudes and behaviour, and see if there is something I need to do, and usually it's ask for help and not put my head under the blanket and forget about life or fear it. But often fear does come back, just because fear can come back, and when fear comes, call a friend, go to a meeting, make some connection. And in fellowship, if you have learned what I have learned, or are learning what I have learned, we need a telephone directory of people we know in fellowship. For every 100 telephone numbers we may have, 1 or 2 may be available right now, but out of 100 names in our telephone, we may only find 1 or 2 are available at any one time. And they may not be our first choice, because always we go for the first choice, and then we get a voicemail saying, please leave a message and I'll get back to you when I can. Don't wait, phone another friend. Best way. Or if you can get to a meeting and you're mobile enough and there is one available, it's better to knock heads together in the nicest possible way. So that's me for today. Slightly out of sorts, but that's okay. At least I know why. I know the reasons why this morning. It's not just mice, it's 1 or 2 physical frailties. So the Serenity Prayer helps me at any time of day, as much as a spot check inventory, which is when I'm disturbed. Ask myself the question, why am I disturbed? And then the Serenity Prayer, the can do, I can change me and my attitudes. I cannot change you and your attitudes. And I keep on learning the wisdom as I go along. So the Serenity Prayer, the all fair weather, foul weather Serenity Prayer to God or in good conscience. Whatever is your belief system, it still works as a reminder of can and cannot do. God or in good conscience, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference in the moment, always, and just for today.